on here for just a really quick video to kind of give you like a back story of who I am. So I was raised in Georgia, lived there my entire life, graduated high school there, and like literally 2 months after I graduated high school, I moved clear across the country to Alaska with no plan whatsoever. I moved up here for a boy, and it didn't work out. Literally, at the airport, I told him to go home, pretty much, and it wasn't, I don't know. So my roommate came and picked me up, introduced me the very next day to who is now my husband of 11 years. We got married August 28th of 2007, just 8 days after I turned 18, and only 6 weeks of knowing each other. That was it. And so we got married, and we didn't tell any of our family. We only told the 2 people that were our witnesses, the guy that married us and his wife. We got married at the island in the kitchen. He asked us, I will never forget this, do you know what you're getting yourself into? And we both said yes. However, I did not. I had just turned 18. I had never been married before. I flew across the country for someone else, and now here I am 6 weeks later getting married to somebody else. And the second most scariest thing of my entire life. The first at that point was moving across the country. And I was only 18. We didn't tell our family at all. And about a month after we got married, his dad and stepmom came up, and they knew they'd been staying together, but they didn't know we were married. And so when we picked him up at the airport, his dad said, well, just don't get married anytime soon, you know, get to know each other. And that's when Dan, my husband, said, well, we kind of did a thing. And then his next words, and I'll never forget it, was, we'll take the next year, get to know each other, don't have any kids anytime soon, you know. And so we were like, okay, yeah, we can do that, you know, no big deal. So I was getting put on birth control. The week of my appointment, I found out I was pregnant. And so God had different plans in store. I remember feeling really weird, but not nauseous, but it just didn't feel good. And I was like 3 days late, and I was never late at this point. And so he was making breakfast, and he was older, you know, he's 6 years older than me. He was making breakfast, and when he did, I took a pregnancy test, and it came back positive, and I started crying because I was literally just turned 18 a couple months prior, and I had no idea what I didn't want any kids at the time. I wanted to be 25 when I started having kids because that seemed like the ideal time frame for me. And so started crying in the bathroom, and thankfully I wanted to surprise him because he was 23 and he wanted kids. Like now, we just weren't trying, we weren't preventing, we were literally trying to get put on birth control though. And so he was making breakfast. At the time we had a roommate, and he said, oh, I forgot something. So he ran to the store, or he went to the store, and at the time I parked in the garage. We lived in a little townhome, and he went to the store, and while he was there, when he left, I had my roommate come and take over the breakfast so that way I can run and get a couple of goodies to put in a bag to surprise him. He didn't know I was gone. I don't know how he didn't know I was gone, because I pulled into the garage, and he had already been back. Pulled into the garage, and I ran upstairs, put the stuff together, and put it on the bed. And I remember going and asking him in the kitchen to put the phone away on the charger. And he got a little frustrated with me because I was very persistent about it until he finally went and put the phone away. And so he comes running around and picks me up in the kitchen, spins me around in a circle, and he was so excited. He's like thrilled beyond all belief. And I was starting to get excited because I knew that he was excited, but I, at this point, was still so scared. My mom lived across the country. I couldn't go to her for every little thing because, you know, and back then iPhones weren't even a thing. Like FaceTime wasn't a thing. I don't even know if Skype may have been, but I don't know. But she wasn't physically there. So when it came time to have my daughter, we had talked to his mom and my mom and decided that we wanted them to be in the room when it happened, because I was not even 19 when she was born. So we flew them up, and that was the first time I actually met his mom, and vice versa. It was just days before we delivered my child. So it was like, hey, nice to meet you. Now you're going to get to see all my goods. And so it was crazy. but my mom was only going to be up there for, I think, 8 days, and she ended up leaving the day after my daughter was born, so she got to see her for a little bit. And but I was a teen mom. I mean, late teens, but I was a teen mom. Scary. I think the struggles that I went through then are similar to the struggles that people go through even in their 20s and 30s being a first-time mom. We had financial instability at times. We struggled to make ends meet, but we ended up prevailing, and we are here 11 years later, and we have a gorgeous house, and we have 2 really nice cars. We have a rental property. We've done a lot. We've come through a lot. I didn't get a TV show, nor do I think I would have wanted one, you know? But you don't have to be 16 and pregnant, which they're not even 16 and pregnant. They're like 16 to 18 and pregnant. Like, it's, anyways, I'm just gonna go from there. But I didn't need the publicity to give me financial stability. For the most part of the last 11 years, I kept God first. There was times that my path with him struggled, but I came back to him, and I firmly believe that if it wasn't for putting God first in my life, I wouldn't be where I am today. I have 4 kids, an amazing husband. We're both in the military, and we're doing really well. He's actually getting promoted in 2 days, so I'm excited about that and extremely proud of him. But that being said, I was a teen mom. It was difficult. We didn't tell anyone that we were pregnant we didn't tell anyone that we were married until after we found out we were pregnant. We didn't want anyone to think that we got married because we got pregnant. And I'm going to do like a blank statement here. I don't think a couple should get married just because they're expecting. They need to get married because they love each other, they want to be together, and if they just so happen to be pregnant, then kudos, you know? But I don't think that anyone should be getting into a relationship or staying in a relationship just for the kids. I think there should be love and happiness in that relationship. That being said, this isn't a long video. It wasn't my intentions. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. I was a teen mom, had my struggles, and 11 years later, I am doing really well for myself, and my children are happy, they're healthy, they're loved, and they're well taken care of. But anyways, that was a little backstory of me. I'm probably going to try and do another video either later today or tomorrow about how I found my dad's biological father. So, cliffhanger. It's kind of cool, actually. But I will try and upload that video either tonight or tomorrow. But I am going to do a video about how I tracked down my biological grandfather after my dad's 50. So 50 years of not knowing his dad. So stay tuned, because that's going to be a very emotional, exciting video for you guys. All right, talk to you later. Bye.